Antonio Spurs.
That's your
Uh,
team. That's your
that
team.
is my team. I did say a lot of high and mighty things about them this year, and they're looking like fool's gold too. But Wemby, Mister Take 8 to 10 3-pointers a game. Uh,
A lot.
is he this year's defensive player of the year?
Mm.
I I must add he did have another recent, 25, 10, 5 and 5 game, which he has about 9 of those now, is like there's like 27 in the NBA history. So, that's like, either 5 blocks or, I think he got like 3 steals that game. So is he the defensive player of the year this year?
Is he? Mm. He should be if his team was better. Again, I'm going the record route. I did my homework. The last 11 defensive player of the years were at least the lowest I think was the 6th seed, and that was Tyson Chandler on the New York Knicks back in like
Wow.
2012, 2013, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's usually you're on the upper edge because these awards, okay, it's not about okay. Wemby is the best individual defender, absolutely right, but it has to translate to the most important thing, which is wins, right? So if you're not if we can't say okay, Wemby's defense is the reason why the San Antonio Spurs are a 4th seed, then you can't really win Defensive Player of the Year. I want to give it
Okay.
to him. I want it, but bro, I'm objective, bro. I'm not a fan of these. I'm not a fan like that where I'm just gonna be like, oh, because I like Wemby, I want him to have it. If the San Antonio Spurs can get to at least a 6th spot, 6th seed, it's the same with Joker. If they can get to the 6th seed, a guaranteed playing spot, a playoff spot, sorry, I will give him Defensive Player of the Year. But it's his to win for sure. It's his to win for sure. It's just that little criteria. I don't know if voters are gonna go against, but it seems like the media loves Wemby to a certain extent. So who knows? There might be just like Jokic, they might be the first guys who are not in the top 6 that win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, respectfully.
True. I mean, yeah, what I realized about, Wemby's defensive stats is like they come when they're like not really needed. Like you'll get a block here and there, you get a steal in here and there, but they're not like game changing, you know, defensive stops, and they just come as they go because he's supposed to get them,
He's supposed to get them.
right? Like your wingspan is crazy, and you could block shots without jumping. Like they're more or less just supposed to come just by default. It's not really changing the results of your team, right? Um, so if it's not him, who would win then? If they end up eighth to or ninth in the league, who would get it if it's not Wemby then?
I wouldn't be mad at Jaren Jackson Jr. I would not be mad at it. The
Okay,
Memphis Grizzlies are like the sixth best defensive team in the NBA. See, that's what I'm trying to say. The San Antonio Spurs are not even like top 15 in the NBA in defense. You know what I'm trying to say? So it
yeah,
has nothing to do with Wemby specifically. It just has to do with the results we're getting. You know what I'm trying to say? And the Memphis Grizzlies are second in the West right now at the time this is recorded. Um, Jaren Jackson Jr. He's arguably probably the best player on his own team. Arguably,
yeah,
it could be argued that he's the best player on the team just because he plays on both sides of the ball. Um, he's 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 anchoring that defense and allowing that team to be one of the better defensive teams. And that's how I keep it nice and simple, bro. Like I don't have to sit there and give you like when people give me all the analytics stats and stuff, bro, it gives me a headache, bro. I'm just like, bro, I don't
yeah.
like we never needed analytics. Like we never needed analytics to decide MVPs and stuff like that. We just knew. And the same criteria that won those guys MVPs is essentially the same criteria that's making the modern day player win MVP. So that's what I'm saying. Jaren Jackson Jr. at the moment on like I think the 4th best team in the NBA, 6th best defense. He's anchoring it, 2 blocks a game. Right now, he's definitely my defensive player of the year. But Wemby, like I said, Wemby, it's yours, bro. Your team's got to be a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I can't be mad at that because you're right. Like it shouldn't just be about stats. It should be like you just know who is the defensive anchor. Like that's a better way to kind of look at it, right? Like, are you the captain of this defensive line, and like, are you the reason why this team is getting stops, getting wins, right? Are you the one that's leading that defensive charge? Um, it's just a matter of like stats when it comes to Wemby. right? Like they're not game changing. They don't move the momentum of the game. They're just blocks and steals, more or less, right? That don't really equate to anything. Doesn't really equate to wins, essentially. All right, so yeah, I can't be mad at that. There's not really much defense going on in the league right now, and there's very few players to kind of pick out and be like they're doing um their defensive job, right? Like so, I can't be mad at Triple J. Did you say Memphis was second in the West?